Welcome everybody to the Everyday Health Hacker Podcast. I'm Mike Herzing. This show is coming to you from the Meridian Health Institute, located right here in Sugar Land, Texas, right in the heart of Texas. You know, I remember when there was actually nothing but sugar cane around here.
Sugar cane and lots of quail.
Lots of quail. And we used to come down here and get sugar cane and then gnaw on it the rest of the week. You know, back when and sugar, that's back when sugar was good.
That's when sugar was good. Sugar is no longer good for you.
Well, it's evil now, right? Is that how it is? All right.
Well, there's a balance. There's a balance.
All right. Let's get started here. Everyday Health Hacker is the brainchild of my good friend, Dr. Lisa Liao, who's the Chief Medical Officer of the Meridian Health Institute. And she is the star of the show right here. Lisa, how you
you're
doing?
so sweet, Mike. No, just couldn't do it without you. We so appreciate you being here today. And I'm looking forward to talking more about what we talked about last time.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be great. And it was a mess. Last week was all these relationship problems. And sorry, folks, but we have one microphone failure, so we're just dealing with one mic today. We have relationship problems after a year of this COVID mess. All right. And, you know, you've got your book here, which is awesome. And I heard so many nice things about it. And what have you kind of getting from folks?
Well, one of the things that I'm getting from, Cupid's Challenge was one of those books that we put together during the pandemic. We had written a lot of notes in the past, and it was really about patients who have been suffering from chronic pain. And this is about embracing, restoring love, affection, intimacy, and respect through the challenges of chronic pain. And through the pandemic itself has been a chronic pain. So it's teaching patients and people, the readers, to find other resources in order to share the appreciation, the adoration, and the love that you have for that other person in your life.
You know, after having my knee replaced, I can tell you all about chronic pain for the last 2 weeks. And yeah, you don't feel like doing a whole lot of stuff, and you don't feel like making everybody special. I don't know if I can't imagine having that
day
all
in,
the time,
day out. And that's one of the things that I've been sharing with a lot of patients. They'll say, hey, doc, well, you don't understand. Well, for the people listening out there, I do understand. I do understand.
You're the one.
I live with rheumatoid arthritis, and I was diagnosed at the age of 23. And in the meantime, I'm going to say I'm about to turn 52 now. And in the meantime, it wasn't until 3 years ago that I was pain-free. And to become pain-free, we did a lot of different types of what I call medical directives in order of changing the diet, changing exercise, changing the attitude that you have, because, gratitude is attitude, and gratitude is about the love of God and the appreciation that you have in life. And Cupid's Challenge comes from that, because sometimes we forget about the basic things, and the pandemic really taught us a few things. One was go outside and just be grateful for the air that you're breathing, that the sun is out, that we have a rainy day or that we have a snowy day. It's the tiny little bits of appreciation that we have when we walk out that door. And so, this morning, what were you appreciating?
I was appreciating that I could actually make it to the car.
See? Because last week it was so much harder, right?
Yeah. So it's only been 2 weeks. But the book is awesome. All the stuff you talk about is awesome. But it's almost Easter, and that's a really big event, for a lot of folks. And the whole country is getting ready to crawl out from all of this COVID stuff, and the political stuff, and just everything, just ugliness for the whole last year. We all just kind of like take 2020 out of the calendar and just ignore it. Okay, but there's a lot to look forward to. The sun's getting better. The springtime. Everything's blooming, which of course is allergy problems, but. Everybody's been kind of sitting around the sedentary. We haven't gone out. We haven't done a lot of stuff.
No buts about it. To me, Easter is such an important time of year because it allows us to reflect on forgiveness. And forgiveness is a huge part of health and healing. A lot of people who suffer from mood disorders, a lot of them can actually come from a traumatic event that happened early in their lives, maybe late in their lives. And that in itself, a mood disorder, can be a chronic pain event. So when people are reading this book, I ask them to take a look, whether it's rheumatoid arthritis or it's depression or anxiety, is to utilize that let's call it the diagnosis or condition and substitute that for chronic pain, and know that there are ways to alleviate and repair the inflammation that's in the body and the brain. And we do that when we start with forgiveness. When we start with forgiveness, it's not only about forgiving ourselves because maybe we ate too much sugar yesterday. I know during the freeze, I got off my keto balance and it was a little difficult to get back on it. 3 weeks out, back on track. But it's okay. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to vent. The key is that when you do vent, I want you to put it in a box, take it out for 5 minutes, let it out, and put it back out. Put it back into the box, because the key is to be grateful for the things that we have today. And sometimes that might be just as easy as saying, I opened my eyes today, because sometimes people don't feel like getting out of bed because they don't feel good.
Yeah, or you can't sleep. Like me, can't find the right spot to sleep. I don't sleep on my back. Of course, I have to now with my knee all messed up. But, a lot of folks are actually getting ready to get out there. They're getting out, they're getting bicycles, they're doing it, everything. There's a lot of parts of the country, we're pretty lucky, but a lot of country is snowed in and things like that. Everybody's out, but they're going from 0 to 100 miles an hour. Okay.
So the key is to pace yourself.
There we go.
Pace yourself. Take the time to really put a plan together. I had a gentleman just last week who came in limping, and I said, what did you do? And he goes, decided to go skiing after 25 years. As a child, he was a great skier, but in his mid-50s, it had been 25 years since he'd been doing it. So, he tore his lateral meniscus, which gratefully, it's a partial tear, and it's going to repair on its own. And it's just a matter of doing what we call IPRF. Some people are familiar with PRP, and we just injected it, and now he's doing so much better. The key is to recover and to think ahead about the activities that you're doing. And if you haven't done it in a while, let's start a little slower and pace up. Just pace it up, but take your time in doing it.
I feel that way about intimacy, and we should do that. If you haven't done it for a while, pace yourself, right?
Well, the key with Cupid's Challenge is that everybody has to have a conversation with their loved one, and having what is comfortable with them and what type of pace you want to go at it. I think if somebody is in their 20s compared to those people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s,
right,
maybe a little bit different pace.
Well, maybe instead of 50 shades of gray, you only start at 20 shades of gray. Is that it?
Well, the key is to have intimacy, love, and some forgiveness has to go in there with it,
yes,
so that you can maintain that love relationship.
And have fun.
Fun.
Fun is the other thing too, but it's just, this is such a great time of year, and I like to eat correctly and everything. I eat a lot of eggs. Mm-hmm. Of course, unfortunately, there have been Cadbury eggs lately.
No, not the Cadbury eggs.
Not the ones you can have, but
not the Peeps. Not the Cadbury eggs.
The Peeps, I love them. God, I just don't even mention Peeps. That's my kryptonite. But the whole point is, it's just good to hear you say that people got, you're going to go out and start a big workout regimen and things like that. Now that it's that, you kind of maybe pace yourselves or maybe get checked out.
Maybe go see your physician, find out what type of plan you should be on. If you do end up binging in sugar, forgive yourself, move on. Every day's a new day. Just start over.
It's great to have you say that, because a lot of people, the nutrition people are just like, oh, you're a daddy. They just want to punish you. Like, hey, we all make mistakes. Move on, right?
Move on. That's right. Here at Everyday Health Hacker, the whole key is, what can we do right now, today, that we can be better tomorrow? And that's the whole key of today's episode.
Okay. Now, same thing with this Cupid's Challenge. I mean, the book is just amazing. You've spent a long time working with it. I know you've been putting this together for forever, it seems like.
For quite a few years,
and
yes.
It's like all these life experiences and things like that.
Culmination of many, many patient stories.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the whole point. And you leave all the names and numbers out. But it seems like it's just what everybody needs right now.
Well, I want everybody to write a love letter every day. Whether it's just a sticky note or it's a text, let that person know that you love them. And that comes from not just your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, also your children. Send them a note of encouragement. We can all do that, and it's something simple and kind to do.
I didn't, I was growing up in the 50s and early 60s and stuff. That's not something, the dad wasn't, he was the stoic figure, right? Yeah. And you remember those days? And the dad didn't come and grab you and tell you I love you and this kind of stuff. It just wasn't done. It was like fathers would give you a handshake sometimes.
I remember that. And I do remember the first time that I was going off my university. We studied abroad. And my father came home he was working in California, came home and he gave me a hug and said, "I love you." And I didn't get to see him, for 3 months because I was in Italy at the time. And my parents weren't those people to write a note every day.
Right.
They wrote 2 letters. And I still have those letters today. And that is many, many moons ago. And I treasure those because every piece of paper that my parents have written to me, it really is something that I treasured. So I want something that you guys treasure in the future too. And whether it's a sticky note or a letter or a card from Hallmark, the key is to share your appreciation and your love for each other.
With all of the instant messaging and texts and emails and things like that, there's really not much of an
emoji
excuse.
Is not enough.
No, I know it's not. It's not. But there's no reason not to send a quick note.
Correct.
And I love you, or
Send how you feel. Use your pet names.
I'm missing you.
My pet name is Trouble, so it's an easy one and an easy one not to forget.
Yeah, I think you're pretty unforgettable.
You're sweet. Thank you so much.
All right, folks. If anybody's got a topic they want us to just go ahead and delve into, be sure to send us an email, info@everydayhealthhacker.com, and we'll be glad to tackle. This lady will tackle anything.
We're ready for you, and we look forward to your questions, comments. Please like us and subscribe on your favorite platform. Have a blessed day.
All right, folks, on behalf of Dr. Lisa Leal, the great staff here at the Meridian Health Institute deep in the heart of Sugarland, Texas, Jack McCraw, our producer, and myself want to thank everybody for listening to the Everyday Health Hacker podcast, and we hope you will subscribe. We really would like that. Look for us on social media and our website, everydayhealthhacker.com. I'm Mike Herzing, and as always, have a great week.